In this video, I'm going to be answering the question, what is wild fermentation in wine? If we haven't met before, my name is James Follent, and I am a wine lover. I believe Australian wine is beautiful and complex, so I create videos for wine lovers to learn more about the world of wine. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Now let's get straight into answering the question about what is wild fermentation. Wild fermentation is an ancient winemaking technique where the harvested grapes are left to ferment in the yeast that's naturally occurring in the vineyard and the surrounding environment. The idea behind natural fermentation is to let nature be the one that is responsible for the fermentation process. It leaves nature to help determine what is going on in that fermentation process for that wine in comparison to the usual method of fermentation where the winemaker adds a yeast that they've chosen previously, usually for the purpose of achieving a particular style or taste profile for the wine that they are making. But when you step back and let nature do the work in wild fermentation, you're really leaving it up to the surrounding conditions of the vineyard, the natural process, any kind of bees or wasps that may have visited the grapes or the grapevines whilst they'd been growing that vintage, that growing season, that brings various microbials, microorganisms, and different kinds of yeasts. So during that wild fermentation process in wine, the yeasts are battling it out to be the dominant yeast for that wine, and the strongest yeast survives in that process. In wild fermentation, the winemaker has the opportunity to sit back and observe nature take its course as they leave the outcome of the wine and the taste profile. They trust that the process of nature will work out and create a wine that they enjoy. When you're wild fermenting wine, you get more variation year to year and sometimes grape site to grape site, depending on the yeast in each of those vineyards. Usually you get a nice surprise in the bottle about something that's different, unique, and a little bit alternative to the mainstream styles of winemaking, because it's been more of a hands-off process where nature and the natural yeast has been able to be the primary cause for fermentation without the guidance of the winemaker. If you're liking this video, please give it a thumbs up below so that other people who might be interested in this content can be suggested this video on YouTube. And if you're not liking this video, please give it a dislike, give it a thumbs down, and comment below to let me know why, so I can make better content in the future. The question of the day is, do you have any wild fermented wines you could recommend? Please comment below and let me know. I'd love to be able to review one of those wild fermented wines in a future video and give you a shout out. So comment below if you've got any recommendations for wild fermented wines. Thank you for watching this video about wild fermentation. I hope you found it useful, that you learned something about the world of wine. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing if you're enjoying the content that I'm creating, and I'll see you in the next video.